She's completely flirtatious with him.
I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay?
It's finally out in the open. Blake Lively has been caught cheating on Ryan Reynolds with Justin Baldoni, and suddenly, every rumor and whisper now makes perfect sense.
Lively completely exposes herself.
She hides behind the mask of empowerment, but Blake Lively is proving to be the worst kind of fake feminist, one who twists narratives, plays victim, and manipulates the system to get her way.
She seems like a bully. She was such a high-maintenance diva bully brat.
She really wanted her vision to be included in this.
When Justin Baldoni turned her down, Blake didn't walk away gracefully. She lashed out, revealing her true nature, and tried to take him down in the most ruthless way possible.
No amount of I'm sorry's.
Hollywood's so-called golden girl, Blake Lively, built her brand as the picture-perfect wife, but behind closed doors, she was chasing a very different script. While suing Baldoni for making her uncomfortable, she was the one desperately running after him like a starstruck fan, asterisk.
She laughs and says, oh, did you get beard on me? She doesn't say, oh my God, you nuzzled me and said that I smell good. This is what she's done throughout.
Convinced she could have any man in Hollywood, Blake set her sights on Baldoni, but when he, a married man, rejected her, she unraveled. Instead of accepting defeat, she did what every entitled starlet does. She spun herself into the victim.
She alleges that she's a Me Too victim there. That's absurd.
Now the receipts are pouring in, and Ryan Reynolds is furious. This isn't about harmless set chemistry. This is about his wife's failed attempt to cheat, followed by her weaponizing the Me Too movement as a revenge tactic. You couldn't script something Messier
wants us to believe this is actionable harassment, what we just witnessed there. You tell me whether that's what that looks like to you.
Blake has a long history of blurring the line between co-stars and love interests. From Penn Badgley on Gossip Girl, to Ben Affleck on The Town, to swooping in on Ryan while he was still married to Scarlett Johansson, Hollywood sets have always been her personal dating app.
This person is not an honest broker. I believe her less than ever. I actually disbelieve her fully now.
This is the same Blake Lively who cries about being mistreated in Hollywood, yet spends her career hopping from one power player to the next like it's a game of industry musical chairs. This time, she zeroed in on Justin Baldoni, handsome, successful, and married. And if you know Blake's history, that last part almost seems to be the appeal.
I let go of so much, and I gave it to him.
Blake has always leaned on her pretty privilege, convinced that a smile, a wink, and a little charm will drop men to their knees. But Baldoni wasn't buying it, and for once, her usual tricks didn't work.
Lively later objected to this behavior. Mr. Baldoni's response was, I'm not even attracted to you.
He shut it down fast. Blake, however, wasn't ready to take no for an answer. She started pushing for steamier scenes, making suggestions about intimacy, and even dropping flirty comments under his workout clips online.
She's completely flirtatious with him.
At one point, she actually told him, amazing, now try it pregnant. Excuse me, what? It was desperate, bizarre, and totally uncalled for, but still, Baldoni wasn't giving her the reaction she wanted.
Don't like her. She seems like a bully. She was such a high-maintenance diva bully brat.
And then the hypocrisy hit peak levels. Blake refused to work with an intimacy coordinator, yet later turned around claiming she felt unsafe on set. Really? She wasn't unsafe when she was writing her own steamy scenes and demanding extra takes, but once rejected, she suddenly played the victim card.
Another allegation, Holmes, is that she started to rewrite scenes that nobody had asked her to rewrite.
When Justin still wouldn't give her the attention she craved, Blake's ego couldn't handle it. Instead of accepting rejection, she escalated it into a full-blown scandal. This was Hollywood narcissism on display, weaponizing the Me Too movement against a man whose only a crime was staying loyal to his wife.
In the best place. I told them that I was exhausted, that I haven't given myself time to recover or time to heal.
To sell her story, Blake needed a cover. So, she spun a narrative claiming Justin was the one pushing for steamier scenes and making inappropriate remarks. But the leaks paint a different picture. She was the one obsessing over body image, pushing certain aesthetics, and demanding the edits.
Man being fully castrated by a woman who is using toxic feminism to get what she wants, right?
Then came the "he called me fat" charade. The receipts told another story entirely. Baldoni had been reassuring her, telling her not to stress, and that she looked great. But Blake twisted his support into yet another victim narrative.
Blake Lively completely exposes herself and just says it out loud with no qualms. This is what I do. The whole thing Justin's put out in his documents, she just admits.
The wildest part? Ryan Reynolds stood by her side, convinced he was defending his wife's honor. In reality, he was blindly helping her smear a man while ignoring the truth that Blake was the one crossing boundaries all along.
She, like, time and time again, she accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context is an absolute nothing burger. She accused his producing partner of showing her pornography.
And you can bet Ryan started raising an eyebrow when Blake suddenly pushed to rewrite entire scenes. He probably thought she was being dedicated to her craft. Meanwhile, she wasn't rewriting a script, she was trying to script a new romance with her co-star.
Will happily participate in releasing any further leaks that they have because the truth should be out there. What does she have to fear if she's telling the truth?
When Blake's story started crumbling and people began poking holes in her claims, she pulled her boldest stunt yet, a conveniently leaked voicemail of Justin Baldoni apologizing for making her uncomfortable. The timing was perfect, almost too perfect. But the moment tech-savvy eyes looked closer, the cracks showed.
Here is part of that leaked audio as of yesterday. Take a listen to Justin Baldoni. Groveling is the only way to describe it to Blake Lively.
I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank.
The audio itself sounded suspicious, chopped up and stitched together like a patchwork of words. Given everything we now know, it wasn't far-fetched to believe Blake orchestrated a deepfake voicemail just to keep her narrative alive, because at this point, her credibility was already in shreds.
I'm sorry. I f***ed up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect.
The level of manipulation here is staggering. Blake played the fragile victim card while actively trying to frame a man simply because he rejected her. And that speaks volumes. She genuinely believed that as Blake Lively, no man could ever say no.
Start to rehabilitate her reputation, which got smeared because she turned out to be not a very nice person in the videos released last summer.
Then, almost out of nowhere, the infamous voicemail surfaced. Baldoni allegedly apologizing for mistreating her. Convenient, right? Too convenient. Why would a man who had already disproven her claims suddenly confess in a random recording? It didn't add up, and thankfully, the experts knew it.
I'm just still kind of blown away that this is the industry that we're in and that you've experienced that as a woman. And
metadata analysis revealed the obvious: the voicemail was doctored. The pacing was off, the tone shifted unnaturally, and parts of it sounded robotic. It had all the fingerprints of AI manipulation, proving it was nothing more than a fabricated attempt to frame Baldoni.
Those heads that I'm just still kind of blown away that this is the industry that we're in and that you've experienced that as a woman. And I know I don't need to say it, but that's not at all going to be or will be, and hopefully it's not been the experience.
Blake still acted like Hollywood royalty, believing rejection didn't apply to her. But when reality hit and Baldoni didn't bite, she reacted like a spoiled child, except instead of sulking, she tried to destroy his life. And Ryan Reynolds? He's left looking clueless, forever defending her.
Blake knows that, Ryan knows that, and now Justin Baldoni is just basically saying, I fold.
The irony is brutal. Blake thought this scandal would crown her as the brave, empowered woman exposing a predator. Instead, it backfired spectacularly, exposing her as manipulative, entitled, and dishonest. And now Ryan has to face the truth: the villain wasn't outside their home. It was Blake all along.
Lively says Ryan Reynolds wrote the scene. Okay, so he gave her what she wanted, included her scene, shot the scene.
Blake Lively really thought she could finesse her way out of this disaster, but instead she dug herself into one of the deepest holes Hollywood has ever seen. After Baldoni rejected her, she didn't just walk away, she went full supervillain. Filing a sexual harassment complaint, she painted herself as the victim, accusing him of inappropriate advances he never made.
All retaliatory. All of his leaks to the media are retaliatory, and asking the court to shut him and Brian Friedman up, saying this must be shut down because they're trying to try this case in the media.
And let's just pause to appreciate the audacity. This is the same woman who was throwing herself at Baldoni, pushing for steamier scenes, leaving flirty comments on his workout clips, and refusing an intimacy coordinator because she knew what she was doing. Yet suddenly, she was the helpless damsel in distress? Please.
Really hard to get to this point where he just listens to women. He has not yet perceived that a woman might do something evil. He has not yet learned the lesson that nice guys can sometimes finish last, right? And when I say finish last, I mean suddenly have an entire movie yanked out of their hand.
But here's where it got really interesting. Baldoni wasn't about to let his career go up in flames over lies. Instead of backing down, he hit back with receipts, behind-the-scenes footage that didn't just poke holes in her story, it obliterated it. Everything she accused him of turned out to be her own behavior, caught on camera.
I mean, that's not authorship. That's not autonomy. That's control. That's selfishness. That's entitlement. This woman is a monster.
He claimed Baldoni smelled her neck and made creepy remarks about her scent. The footage? Blake complaining about her spray tan smelling bad, with Baldoni reassuring her it wasn't a big deal. She accused him of calling her hot and dragging out kissing scenes, but the tapes showed it was Blake who initiated every single time.
You admit to lying, which is clearly what as you watch the text, she's always asking permission. She's guilt tripping Justin. Oh, directors don't let me, and blah, 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 blah. And then he's always like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It's finally out in the open. Blake Lively has been caught cheating on Ryan Reynolds with Justin Baldoni, and suddenly, every rumor and whisper now makes perfect sense.
She realized they had a hit on their hands. That's why she took control. That's why A-list producers brought in. That's when suddenly, oh crap, this movie is not just we need more time. This movie could actually be something.
He hides behind the mask of empowerment, but Blake Lively is proving to be the worst kind of fake feminist, one who twists narratives, plays victim, and manipulates the system to get her way.